Calling from Washington. Is it Paiman?
Payman.
Is
Payman.
sorry, Payman? Thank you.
Payman. Yeah.
Payman's an atheist. Brunswick EM says he believes there's a possibility that there's a spirit world because videos you've seen have evidence.
Well, I just kind
Okay,
of wanted to get your take on it. It's not really like evidence where I know how your standard is, but just to get you guys' takes on it. But first, I like to preface that I've been watching you, Matt Dillahunty, for 15 years, all the way back to the atheist experience with Tracy Harris. So I'm very, very big fan of this show. But anyway, what it is I grew up in New York in the 70s, and as a kid, I wasn't much of a religious person. My sister became a Mormon, which my dad hated from the start. But anyway, it was one of those recreation. I never went to church or anything, but I grew up, and at some point, like when I joined the Navy in '82, I kind of thought to myself, I really don't believe it because there's so many different religions that I just discount all of them until one of them comes through. So I became an atheist, maybe the first year of the Navy. After that, fast forward to the pandemic. Now, I was an Uber driver, and money was good back then because nobody was on the road, and I was making great tips and all that stuff. But I said, what the hell? Let me take the time off for the pandemic money. It was a little bit less than I was making, but a little
hey,
vacation, I
Payman.
guess. And yeah.
If you've been
Yes.
watching as long as you say, and
Mm-hmm.
thank you, you should know that
Oh, you're
I
welcome.
already don't do well with the laudits, but also if you're calling in to talk about the possibility of the spirit world, I kind of doubt that your history from 82 in the Navy until Uber driving during the pandemic is relevant to that.
Okay, so I'll just jump to the show. Then.
That'd
Sweet.
be
So we've
great.
all seen those. Well, I'll try. We've all seen those ghost adventure shows, and they never really produced anything, right? Maybe a sound, an audible sound at best. But here comes a show. I'm off, not working. It's called Paranormal 911. And I say to myself, oh, here we go again. One of those stupid shows. It didn't turn out to be as bad as the other ones because they had actual video evidence from like different events. But two of them stuck out the best for me. It was police officers involved with cameras. There was one where there was a bar closing, I think it was around 2 a.m., and the guy noticed the bottles in his bar shaking and a dark shadow moving around. So he called the cops. Cops showed up. Cop told the guy, he said, wait outside, let me go inside. He went inside. He saw the same thing as the manager did. He said, wait a minute, stay out here. I'm going to go to my car, patrol car, and get my camera out. He went out and got it and brought it inside, videotaped everything. The bottles were moving and the dark shadow was moving from left to right.
Okay, hang on.
And he
I
came
have to
out.
interrupt because I already knew this, but it took me 10 seconds to verify. Paranormal 911 takes real stories and dramatizes them and makes the footage. No footage on Paranormal 911 is actually live, raw, caught on camera material. It's all dramatized footage. So you have literally been duped by reality TV and videos you find compelling that aren't real videos.
Well, you're right that they do dramatize it, but they actually they showed the video evidence when the cop came out and showed it to
the video evidence
viewers.
is part of the dramatization. I've already looked it up. No, none of the footage in Paranormal 911 is live or raw, caught on camera material.
It was straight from the camera of the show showing. No, it's
like
not,
Blair Witch program is. They stage it for Paranormal 911. They make it look like, oh, hey, here is what that looks like. The whole thing is dramatized.
A certain part.
And by the way,
in the beginning when.
Payman, even if it wasn't, but no, all of it is. But even if it wasn't, it wouldn't bother me anyway, because in all of the explanations of everything, people faking those, we have lots of evidence for, and it ever actually being ghosts, we have zero. So I still feel it is infinitely more likely somebody is a liar than it was a ghost.
Well, I can just tell you that they do in the beginning, they dramatize it, and then they show the actual evidence footage from the.
Payman, Payment, let's just
Yeah.
assume that you're correct and that Jimmy's wrong and that the internet is wrong and that AI is wrong and everything, and that they tell a story and then they show actual footage. What
Yeah.
does this footage show and why should I give the slightest fuck?
Well, it shows the actual bottles moving. You can hear them rattling. You can see the dark object, the dark shadow move across the wall,
What
and
is it?
past the register because the
What is
lights
it?
are reflecting. What do you mean?
What
What
is
is
it?
it?
What
It's
is the
probably
thing
some
that
kind of and
you're describing? Listen to me. You're describing
okay,
bottles moving and a dark figure of some sort moving. What is the dark
right.
figure and how do you know?
It's probably some kind of spirit. I don't know if it's
How do you
demonic
know?
or not.
How do you know? How do you know that it's even possible that it's a spirit, let alone that it's probable that it's a spirit?
I'm not really sure. I just see, but with my eyes and hear with my ears, and I mean, I'm trying to explore what's out there. I don't believe in this. I could be wrong about the whole thing, but I'm only going by the evidence my eyes and my ears tell me. That's all I can do. I don't know what that
So
thing
you're
is.
not listening, Payman.
Yeah,
You say that it's possible that there's a spirit world. I don't know how you
right.
demonstrate that, but now you've said that the figure is probably a spirit. How did you demonstrate that spirits probably or possibly exist?
Well, if they can be caught on the camera, not without the eyes,
No,
maybe
Payman,
that
that's a
way.
circular argument. You do not know what was or wasn't caught on camera. You have no reason to think that what was caught on the camera is a spirit. You have no reason to think that it's probably a spirit. You have no reason to think it's even possibly a spirit. You saw something, you don't know what it is. Now, show why we should consider spirit a candidate explanation for that observation.
I'm not sure how to do that because I can only explain what I saw.
Then
I mean, I
why did
can't.
you call? If you've reached the conclusion that you watched an episode of Paranormal 911 and saw something that you don't know, can't investigate further, and that therefore it's possible that it's a spirit. And when we ask you, how do you know it's possible? And you say you don't know, you have wasted my time.
Well, that's one of the things I wanted to bring up is that I don't know why they didn't push it forward with all that evidence. It just kind of went out of the way.
Payment,
I mean,
extremely payment. I'll extreme why they didn't push it forward. Payment, and I'm just going to ask you a question, and hopefully this answers it for you. And if it doesn't, I don't know what to do. You have a phone, right,
uh,
with a camera on it?
yes. Hmm.
If you wanted to right now, could you by the end of the day have filmed a video that appears like in the video something has moved and yet nothing was around to move it, whether it is cleverly concealed fishing line or even string that actually is made to not be visible, not just to cameras but to the naked eye? Could you, if you wanted to today, make a video that just looking at the video no one would be able to know whether or not a real person or an actual ghost moved something if you put your mind to it?
Well, that stuff doesn't happen to me
No. This is a yes or no
on a
question. If you
whim. I
wanted,
can't.
if you wanted to, could you make a video that at the end of the day, no one would know for certain that you had set it
Mm.
up versus a ghost moved a jug or made it fall off of something or a chair wiggled or bottles rattled or whatever? If you put your mind to it, could you make that video? And without, if you didn't tell anybody, no one could actually prove it wasn't a ghost. Could you do that?
Probably if there was one,
No, not
if there was
probably.
a ghost.
Yes, of course you could. Of course you could. And
Yeah.
that's why nobody goes forward with it, because there is still the candidate explanation that something natural happened. So when a unsolved murder happens and they can't figure out the murder, they don't then put it in a file under probably ghosts. They put it in the unsolved murders and sometimes they revisit them and solve them later. Because just because you haven't proven it wasn't a natural cause doesn't mean you'll never prove it. And it doesn't mean that therefore a supernatural cause makes more sense. We would hopefully fire any cop who, when they hit a sufficient wall of not knowing how to investigate further, just went, well, it's probably ghosts. It's probably a spirit. It's probably an apparition. That would disqualify any police officer. But that's what you're doing here, Payman. You're going, I have no evidence that it wasn't, except for like maybe a trust in humans, which you shouldn't have, that humans wouldn't fake something like this. Yes, of course they would. Humans have faked much bigger things for much less attention. So the reason why they don't move forward with it is evidence is only evidence if it is good evidence, if it's repeatable, confirmable. Anything that you have done, you can make fake ghost videos all day long. So you can prove to yourself that fake ghost videos can exist through your own experimentation. Now go do the experimentation that proves that ghost videos can even exist. So your confusion about why people don't take it more seriously really comes down to the absolute basics of what good evidence is.
Like I said from the beginning, I know it's not absolutely good evidence, but I mean the best evidence is
it's not even evidence.
Evidence at all.
So you're saying that thing that a cop saw on the wall himself with the camera is not good evidence of something.
Correct.
Of a ghost, correct. It's evidence of a thing moving on the wall.
What I'm saying is that a paranormal 911 retelling of an anecdote about what a cop claims he saw on a wall is not sufficient evidence to conclude that spirits are possible or probable. That's my position.
Okay. All right. Well, I had one more story, but I had a better thing with the evidence.
I don't care.
But, yeah, I know you don't. Okay.
You have one. Wait, Paiman, you say you have one with better evidence?
Why didn't you start with the best one you had?
Why did you not start with the best one?
And is the next one the best one? If we debunk this one, are you then going to say, actually, I have another that's better, or do you have one even better than that?
No, I only have two that are actually based with cops in there as a good source.
Why do you? No, Paiman. Why do you think cops are a good source?
Because I don't think they have anything to lie about. They're not gaining anything by showing this video.
Are you delusional? Have you not seen all the cops that are killing people and lying about it, that are hiding their body cam footage? Have you not? Have you not seen cops planting? Shut up! Have you not seen videos of cops finding evidence? Have you not seen cops being prosecuted for this? And you think that they wouldn't? Yeah. What is it about being a cop that makes you think they're less likely to lie?
Well, I don't think they're lying because they have anything to.
That's not what I asked, Paiman, that's not what I asked. What is it about being a cop that makes you think they're less likely to lie?
Well, it depends on the circumstances.
No, Paiman, for the last time, Paiman, what is it about being a cop that makes you think they are less likely to lie?
Well, because they're held to a higher standard, I think.
No, sir, they're not. And being held to a higher standard is completely irrelevant as to whether or not you are going to meet that standard. You have bought into propaganda. You have bought into the notion that, ooh, cops are good people and ooh, cops are less likely to lie. I bet you think prostitutes are more likely to lie, don't you?
No.
No, that's a lie.
I think if a cop is doing something,
that's a lie. That is a lie. Lie. And the way I know it's a lie, and I'll prove it. The way I know it's a lie, and I'll prove it's a lie, is that when you say that cops are less likely to lie, who are they less likely to lie than?
Than everybody else,
including prostitutes, right? So you do think prostitutes are less likely to be telling the truth than cops, you liar.
Yes. Why not?
You know what's interesting about this, Paiman, though? Let's say you were right. Let's grant it to you. Let's say that cops never lie. They can't. They're physically incapable.
I never said that.
No. But let's grant it.
Paiman, shut up and listen. Jimmy's saying, let's pretend that cops never lie.
Yes, okay. Let's go. I'm going to grant you yours and then more. I'm going to give you the full. They're perfect, not liars. Them being perfect, not liars, and reporting that they saw something unexplainable and that they believe it was a ghost. Would that mean that it actually was a ghost?
Not necessarily.
Correct. Because guess what? Most police officers, just as most Americans, are religious, and most religious people, they might use different words, but believe in some sort of spirit world existing among us, demons, ghosts, and all of the like. So even if you were able to get them to pass a polygraph that actually worked, that said every single one of them witnessed that, and they do believe it was a ghost, and that is why, you are asking people, it's like asking a young earth creationist whether or not they believe these pterodactyl bones are millions of years old or thousands of years old. They won't lie when they tell you it's thousands of years old, but that won't make it correct because their understanding is flawed. Or would you like to point us to which week in the academy do the cops become experts on evaluating whether a claim is a natural occurred naturally or supernaturally?
Well, I'm sure there's a point in or time in their training where
No,
they're trained on to how to observe things on
not
a call.
not how to evaluate whether or not something is natural or supernatural. Even if
Oh,
you
that they
granted
don't
that they
know.
were telling the truth, they are not
Right.
experts in evaluating much of anything because that's not what they're hired to do. You shouldn't expect them to have an evaluation expertise in anything. I mean, there's plenty of videos to show they tend to not even know the laws they're enforcing. Uh, they are there to do basically to follow orders and to arrest people and get more revenue from the state from poor people instead of rich people. I mean, there's a lot of things there, but we aren't going to get political. That's not what they are there to do. Why would you trust their opinion on evaluating whether something was natural or supernatural when you've already admitted if you wanted to make compelling ghost footage that no one could say isn't a ghost? I'll go so far as to say with enough lead time, you could make up something that you could fool a police officer. Matt and I both, Matt more recently than I, and I think still is, but Matt and I both have been magicians in our history. Matt is a magician. I've done magic in the past too. I have convinced, before I thought it wasn't a bad thing to do, people that I have actual powers before, more as a Mormon, and then before becoming a better person as an atheist. It's not hard to convince people who are already primed for it because the evidence they see with their eyes, Paiman, I guarantee you, I could blow your mind with a deck of cards. Mac doesn't even need a deck of cards. What do you need? Like 2 rubber bands? One? Yeah, 1 rubber band. And he'd blow your fucking mind. Paiman,
No,
none
I'm
of
sure
this
he
is.
can. Yeah, but it's
None
just,
of this
to
is
me, it's a little more
interesting.
compelling than Joe Schmo out of the streets coming out and
No.
saying, "Hey, I saw something," you know.
Let me ask you
On a
something, Payman.
Yeah.
Well, why is it more compelling than Joe Schmo saying something? How do you know Joe Schmo isn't a cop?
Well, that's a good point, but I don't.
I know it's a good point because what you're doing right now is you've reached a conclusion for a really bad reason. And every time Jimmy and I point out what the bad reason are, you want to come up with an excuse. Oh, well, it's more compelling than this. Well, it could be this. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's this. I'm not saying it is. It could be this. Instead of forming an opinion, you should go educate yourself on what has been demonstrated to be possible and probable and when to believe something is possible or probable. Because as it stands right now, I'm completely unaware of any way to demonstrate that the spirit world possibly exists, let alone probably exists. And yet I'm familiar with liars, programs that sensationalize stories, people who fake footage, people who are mistaken and think something is supernatural when it has a perfectly natural explanation, and loads of things for which the right answer is, I don't know what the hell that was. And yet you have decided that despite all of those, it's possible and probable that this clip from Paranormal 911 showed a spirit. You got
Well,
to
it's
do
not
better.
just that one clip. There's other ones.
Oh my,
I mean, there's other
okay.
ones. I know what you're saying, but there's other
No,
ones
no,
that
you don't know what I'm saying. Don't ever tell me you know what I'm saying when you keep demonstrating that I don't. Do the other clips, are they from the same event?
no,
No. So how does another clip in any way demonstrate that this clip was probably a spirit?
it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It's
So
a whole.
why is it
It's a whole
when you
separate.
say shut up? Why is it when you say it's not only that clip, it's other clips? If those other clips don't do anything to show that this one is likely a spirit, why would you ever say that it's not just this clip, it's the other ones? How are the other ones relevant?
They're not. They're totally different stories about
And why did you
cryptoids. Not
fucking bring
having.
it up as if that's a justification for believing it?
No, it's a justification that there's something going on, not that
No,
it's
it's
related.
fucking not, which is just what I asked. I'm completely done, Payman.
All
This
right.
is
Well, I was
incredibly
going to say that.
frustrating. This is incredibly frustrating that we keep leading you to water and you refuse to fucking even look at the water.
No, I
If
am. I'm
Shut
considering
up.
everything you're
Listen,
saying.
listen, listen. If clip number 1 is insufficient to establish possible or probable spirits, and clip number 2 doesn't do anything to confirm number 1, and clip number 2 doesn't confirm possible or probable spirits, why would you ever mention clip number 2? And if clip number 2 is better, why didn't you mention it first? Here's your chance.
Because okay,
Tell us, don't say anything. What is clip number 2 that you keep desperately wanting to get to? What is it?
okay, it has nothing to do with spirits. It's about some kind of animal that's large and humanoid.
Okay, I'm going to mute you. I've had a shit week. I had to cancel my Wednesday show. I have had an absolute shit day. You're not ready for this, Payman. You don't understand skepticism. You don't understand critical thinking. And while I would love to be able to teach you, every question we ask that gets you closer to understanding good evidence justifications fails. Clip number 2 is, you might as well tell me it's a chupacabra. It has nothing to do with it. Oh, you called in to say you believe there's a spirit world because of a bar clip on Paranormal 911. And when I ask you the second clip, which has nothing to do with it, it's not about spirits, it's about some creature. Go call Art Bell if he's still around. I don't know. I haven't listened in years. I can't be of help to you. Like Jimmy might be. We have completely exhausted my patience. I want to cry right now, Payman, because absolutely everything we say that should get you to go, oh, wait, yeah, I don't know. Oh, wait, yeah, that isn't sufficient reason to think that this is even possible. How did I even conclude this is possible? Wait, here's another thing I heard about that isn't relevant at all, but I'm going to try and tie it to it. I can't be, I'm very sorry, Payman. I can't help you. I hope that Jimmy can or somebody can, but I'm done.
Well, can
I
you
don't
at
have
least
more
hear the
questions.
second one? At least whatever you took it.
Payman. I've probably seen it, and I've probably seen it in vertical with the TikTok sound. Dun, 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 dun. All of the videos, I'm in lots of supernatural subreddits because I enjoy watching them, and I have seen probably hundreds more of the videos that would compel you that haven't compelled me. Payman, all I can say is I don't know how old are you, Payman?
Tell you,
Payman,
61.
how old are you?
6 mini strokes.
61?
61 with 6 mini strokes, yes.
Okay. Then I don't, first of all, I don't know. It seems like you're introducing the concept of the mini strokes because you want us to give you some sort of leeway. I'm sorry you had those. It's not relevant.
I just want to tell you the last story. That's all, the last clip.
Got it. So the mini strokes.
I've been waiting 15 years to call in. I just want to tell you one last clip.
Payman. All I was going to say to you is at 61 years old, you have 20 years of AI at least. You're probably going to live another 20 years, I would assume. I hope. And right now, with the AI generated video, if you don't get a better wall up of I'm not going to believe something just because I saw it on video until I have good, sufficient evidence, you are going to fall for so many Nigerian prince level scams that I'm like genuinely afraid for you.
What did your mini strokes have to do with the second story?
Nothing. I just brought it up.
Why did you bring it up? Why did you bring it up? This is the point Jimmy was trying to get to. You brought up something that seemed to be irrelevant. Shut up and listen. I don't know why this is so difficult for you. We tried to get you to the story. And what you said was, I'm 60 with this many mini strokes. And all I want to do is get to the story.
Yes. Can I tell you that last story? Clip?
No.
This is not. Why do you think this is a show for you to call in and tell stories?
No, the clip. I mean, I'm the wrong word.
You can email and I'll see if I want to have you back. But no, right now it seems like You've avoided actually engaging by the actual, I mean, there's not rules, but I don't have a better word for it. You've talked over, you've ignored stuff, you brought in irrelevant things. So contact at qnaline.com and I'll let you know if you should call back with it, if you really need to get that story out. But no. Goodbye, Paiman.
Yeah, it's a parade of non sequiturs. And I've genuinely tried, but I can't. There's nothing else to say.
I have a lot of, never would I go and sit there and be like, that's not true. You're making it up for pity's sake or whatever else. But I will say, when a person apropos of nothing brings up that they have had many strokes, it seems to me like it's like you're wanting to change. And now for us to treat you like, when evaluating a claim, we're also not going to start the shows with a quiz on to see if we can evaluate what a person's like, what range their IQ is in, and then be like, oh, I'm sorry, you fell in what we think is under 95. So actually, it's okay. You go ahead and believe in ghosts, and you go ahead and believe in religious people.
Yeah.
Things, rather. Your intellectual capability will not change whether or not we think it's okay for you to believe something is true or not on a broader level. I'm not going to try and talk a schizophrenic out of schizophrenia, because like that doesn't work. But we're not going to take it on as like, therefore, this is reasonable. The voices you hear are real. The people you see are real. That's fine. Keep going off and doing that. It's not how it works.
This is, so I get heat for this on occasion. I despise when calls start with, hey, Matt, big fan. I've been watching you for so many years and blah, 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 blah. I fucking hate that. Please stop doing it. It's not good for the show. It doesn't do me any good. And inevitably, it tends to put the person in one of a couple of different categories. And one of them is somebody who's getting ready to spout some bullshit, and they think I'm going to go easier on them if they start by telling me what a fucking fan they are. I'm not. I may, in fact, go harder, because it's embarrassing to have people who claim to be fans of mine running around being dumb as a fucking fence post on basic things about paranormal 911 and whether or not there's good reason to believe there's a thing. But also, if you did the, hey, I'm a big fan and I've had triple bypass just like you. Yeah, I'm sorry. All I want to know is, what's the reason for thinking that this is supernatural, a spirit, that it's even possible? That's it. If you don't have a reason, cool. I don't know why you called, but we can move on. The time to believe something is after it's been warranted by evidence. That's it. It's not time to, oh, well, I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying it's possible. No, you're saying that it is true, that it is possible. Prove that. Prove that it's even possible. Well, I don't know how to do that. Then you have no justification for believing it. If you don't know how to demonstrate that X is possible, what possible justification could you have for believing X is true?
Hey there, Eric. Noting that anyone watching that clip makes atrociously poor life decisions, where should they send their protection money to prevent further damage?
All protection money should be sent to patreon.com/calltheline, or else we will break your kneecaps.
Okay, we can't say that. I think we can't say that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hit like and subscribe.